Hi, this is Richard Roop, and this is the weekly Frequently Asked Questions on the Secrets of Free and Clear Deal Structuring webinar series. This is actually one of our JV update calls that we do each week for our JV partners. And recently we did open this up to non-JV partners. On the line with me, I got Coach Courtney. How you doing, Courtney?
I'm doing great today. It's been kind of a crazy day.
It's been a very crazy day. We opened a can of worms last night with the Ultimate Training webinar.
We certainly did. It was great, though. It was great.
All right, so we've been busy. So let's, what we've been doing is we've been going over the most frequently asked questions we get about the ultimate strategy, the free and clear real estate investing model. And so this is session number 5, and we invite you to take advantage of the replays that we've done on previous sessions and then join us for the upcoming one. So today we're going to cover another question that we get all the time, and that is, why wouldn't a free and clear owner sell traditionally since they have time and no urgency? And as a reminder, the free and clear investing model is we target free and clear sellers, and then we can offer them top dollar if they take back long-term, low interest rate, 0% interest rate financing. And then so the question is, and then of course we can capture profits usually at least 50 grand, but averaging between 70 and 100 grand per deal. And we get cash up front, we can create cash flow, and we get cash later. And really good profits, very safe model for today. But a lot of times when people are considering using this as an investment strategy, and then there's other strategies out there, this is like the one to be doing today. And the question we get is, why wouldn't a free and clear owner just go ahead and sell their house traditionally? Because you would think they don't have any urgency, right? And they have plenty of time.
Right. That's what people, they think, but they forget that people have other reasons.
That's right. So let's talk about the reasons. What are the options that a free and clear seller has? Well, number one, they can keep the property, can't they?
Yep.
And of course, we talk to sellers. We send out some very compelling marketing on the Magic Bullet postcard, and we say, hey, we want to buy your house, and we can pay you top dollar. You can avoid all the hassles of selling your property. Give us a call. And they call, and a lot of times they're curious. They may be have their house on the market now. They may be thinking about it. A lot of times, especially when we target absentee owners, they might have not have been thinking about it. And now, well, I might consider selling. I could do something with that money, right? Maybe I don't want to be a landlord anymore. But all the reasons why someone would sell a house is why they would respond to a postcard. So they have the option of keeping the property. And we do talk to free and clear sellers that they're in no rush. They want to find out what we can do. And so what we need to do is create a compelling offer and a compelling presentation and show them the benefits that we'll talk about for the selling to us. And if they want to sell now, great. If they want to sell later, great. Okay. So we're going to sift and sort through a number of sellers before we find someone who's motivated to sell now. They have reasons. We're going to give them reasons. They may have their own reasons. And we're just looking for people that are ready to sell. And if they're not, then we're going to follow up with them. So they can keep the property. That's fine. Their other option would be to fix it up and put it on the market. Anybody who puts the house on the market with a real estate agent or for sale by owner, they should probably fix it up real nice to please a picky buyer, because it is a buyer's market in a lot of places. And buyers are picky, especially those who are qualified. They want to negotiate and be, fix up the house even more than you did and all that. So they can market the property by themselves, for sale by owner, or they can market it with an agent. And if they do for sale by owner, about 85% of those typically wind up listed after the fact. So most people just hire an agent and do it traditionally. Or they can occupy it with a tenant. That's one of their options. And sometimes they're thinking, hey, I'm going to sell, I'm going to move. If I don't sell it, I'll put a tenant in there. And my question to them is, have you ever been a landlord?
Right.
Sometimes they have, and sometimes they haven't. All right. So if they keep the property, they might be waiting. A lot of people are waiting for the market to come back or the market to change. And so part of our presentation is, well, let us give you a future price now kind of an inflated price that you're hoping to get in the future, we can give it to you now. So if they're waiting for the market to change, we are a good solution. A lot of times they don't want to keep the property because they do want to move, or they do want to downsize or upsize, or they do want some cash. That's why they're selling the property. They need some cash. They want to retire as a landlord. We talk to a lot of retiring landlords, people with multiple properties. They just want to free up their time, free up their peace of mind as far as dealing with tenants. And, they've created this portfolio of properties that have been taking care of them. They've created their own retirement plan. Let's help them retire. And one of the ways we can help them retire is sometimes they like the monthly income, but they really don't like the management. And we're a perfect solution for that.
Right.
And sometimes they already own another property, another house. And so this is just a house they don't need. So that's keeping the property. Now, if they put it on the market, they should fix it up to please a picky buyer. We should handle the deferred maintenance if they've been there for a while, or if they have tenants in there. Another reason why they don't want to put it on the market would be because they don't want to market it with their tenants in there, if they have tenants. They have to show the property. That's a hassle. They have to keep the house ready to show, and then of course they have to show it and deal with that time, hassle. They have the marketing expenses and the sales commissions that they have to deal with if they put the house on the market, and then they're competing for all those, kind of the smaller pool of qualified buyers out there.
A very small pool these days, yes.
Yeah. And then, so they're competing for those buyers. Today it's harder for these buyers to qualify for loans like they used to. You know that. Qualified buyers are picky, and they're kind of sometimes a hassle. I deal with so much with terms buyers that want some flexibility. They're going to follow my rules as opposed to make the rules. But qualified buyers love to make the rules.
Right. Right.
And when in a buyer's market, they do make the rules. And of course, we're buyers, so we make the rules for our sellers. They are picky. They want to negotiate price. I'm not used to that when buyers want to negotiate price. They ask for additional improvements to be made to the property because they're picky. And it's easy for them to back out. That's one of the biggest hassles I want to point out to a seller. If they're thinking about, no, I don't want to do this with you, I'm just going to go and put it on the market. It's like I want them to be aware of these items. And you go out, you find a buyer, you keep the house in great shape, you fix it up, you show it, you find a buyer, you put it under contract, it goes pending for a month or two or three, and then they back out. They find another house. It's very easy for buyers to back out. Right. And that's just brain damage. So, and then they're competing against the distressed sellers. So the question is, why would they not just put it on the market? They're not distressed. Well, there's other distressed sellers on the market, and they have to compete with them. Distressed sellers are going after the same buyers they are.
Right.
Okay, so you're competing with the people that will lower their price and offer a great deal to the market, and they have to compete with them. So they're competing with bank repos, and they're competing with people in financial distress or emotional distress or whatever. So that's some of the, we're talking about the pros and cons of them doing their other options. Now, the benefits that we can offer them, that they can enjoy, is number one, and this is, I actually have a new sales presentation in print tool it's called the 9 advantages they can enjoy. And here's 8 of them. Okay, number one, they can close on the date of their choice. So we kind of spell that out. We're not going to move into the property. You can actually close whenever you want. In fact, we can close now and you can move later. They can avoid, and we can close within 30 days. They can avoid the fix-up, repair, and remodeling expenses of marketing a property. They can avoid the marketing and selling costs of traditional be putting it on the market. And number 4, they can sell quickly and easily for top dollar. Number 5, we buy all types of real estate, so anything with income that we can project, we can buy using this free and clear investing model, and that includes condos, mobile homes, houses, duplexes, fourplexes, apartment buildings, commercial. We like the residential. but anything that we know we can do with, if we know what our exit is, what kind of income it can produce, we can structure these free and clear offers and give them top dollar. In fact, I just made an offer today on a $4.5 million house. And
wow.
and
are you going to be renting that out to staff as a bonus?
Well, we have to figure out what's the minimum income we can get, right?
Right.
And so that's market rent. So we just run our numbers based on market rent, and we crunch all the numbers and tell the seller what we can pay, and here's what we can give you down, here's what we can give you each month, and here's the price we can pay. And it's based on what the house can afford, what we can expect to get. Number 6, they can overcome the challenges in selling investment property, and that includes, marketing the house with tenants in there, or maybe finding someone who wants to do occupy the property themselves, and but it's currently leased for the next 9 months. That's a challenge. Mm-hmm. Capital gains. If they're selling an investment property, they may have a tax bite. We can defer their tax bite, or spread it out over many years, and have most of their taxes due on a balloon payment down the road. People really like that if taxes are important to them. Why would people wait for their money? Because they don't need the money. And why would they defer a lot of the money down the road? Because they don't need it, and they like the idea of paying their taxes later with cheaper dollars. Okay. Number 7, they can convert their entire portfolio into cash or passive income. So we are the perfect solution with people with multiple properties that they would like to sell. We call them retiring landlords. And number 8, they can find a new home before selling. So a lot of sellers, sometimes we can maybe trade properties, or we can help them find another property, or we can give them the time to find another property. Some people call and they said, well, when you want to sell? And they said, well, we need to find a new house. So we want to start working that into our discussion. Okay, great. Have you started looking? What price range are you going to buy in? Where are you moving to? And some people don't go out and find their next home because they need a buyer. They don't know how long that's going to take. And again, we can say, well, tell you what, start shopping, because here's what we can do, and you have a buyer. Now go shopping. Now go find your other house. All right. You can't do that when you put the house on the market. Someone wants to move in 30, 60 days after they close, or they, as soon as they close. All right. Now, no urgency. That was one of the concerns. Is there's no urgency. These people are not motivated. Well, maybe there actually are a lot of people that are motivated and have free and clear houses. It's just a lot of them are not. Okay.
Well, and it's a different motivation. It's not the financial, I'm making the payments and this is hurting me motivation. It's different. I want to get rid of this rental property. I want to get near my kids or whatever.
That's right. You're right. If they have any urgency, it's emotional urgency. They're trying to get some peace of mind. And if they're motivated, it's good. It's usually some type of emotional motivation. Now, but it could be financial. They could need some cash, so they may need to raise some cash right away for some business deal or for some reason. So they need to raise cash. They might have another house or property that they want to buy, and they're going to lose it unless they can take care of this one. They might have some health issues that they're dealing with. The whole idea of selling their house and that whole brain damage thing you have to go through is weighing on their mind, so we can give them peace of mind. They may have bad memories in the house. Maybe someone they love, passed away in the house. We find that I just don't want to stay here anymore. And then like you said, landlording hassles. If they want to get rid of that, it's just causing them grief. Okay. So why do they accept our offers? They accept our offers because, number one, they can avoid spending money to fix it up. That's money out of their pocket. When we buy the house, there's no money out of pocket. They get money at closing. They can avoid the costs of selling the property, including commissions and advertising and holding time, vacancies, taxes, insurance, utilities, all that. Avoid the uncertainty of when it's going to sell. So we can say, look, we can close whenever you want. We can close in in 2 or 3 weeks if you want. And if they put the house on the market, they don't know when or what they're going to get. They don't know how much they're going to get, and they don't know when, how long it's going to take. They can avoid competing, like we said, with the for qualified buyers as well as with distressed sellers. The reason why they accept our offers is they love our price compared to what they can get going traditionally. So we can always offer them more than they would net traditionally. And we walk them through what they would actually net if they sold traditionally, and compare that to the high prices that we got. And there are sellers that, just, in fact, I asked the seller today what she thought the property was worth and what it would appraise for. And she says, "Are you asking what you think it's worth or what I want?" And I said, "Well, I was wondering what you thought it might appraise for, but what do you want?" And she said, "Oh, I want $5.8 million." And I said, "Well, we figured that based on comparable sales, it would appraise for about $4.5 million, but we have worked up some numbers to give you $6 million. So we did a 20-year plan, $6 million, and it was like 5.3 on a 15-year deal. So she wanted 5.8. She agreed that it might be worth 4.5. So hey, we can give it to you. Doesn't matter what you want. Just
with the right terms, sure.
Let's see, they love a price. They like the income. There's actually, you'll be surprised. You have to put yourself in other people's shoes. People with free and clear houses sometimes are older in age. They're getting up into a time where they're, they don't work. They're retired, and a lot of them like the idea of getting income. So unless you've presented offers to a free and clear seller and offered to give them a monthly income on a note, you might not have seen someone go, "Really?"
Right.
Yesterday I made an offer to, it sounded like a young kid, but we offered him 20 years of income on a note. I was going to offer 20, 15, 9, and 7 on a note term, and I started with 20 because that's the highest price. Offered him $30,000 down. Offered him $820 a month. That was the net income. And before I could get to offer number 2, he said, "That sounds great." That's what he wanted. He wanted monthly income from the property. He didn't need the cash. He wanted some cash, but he didn't need he did not need all of it. He currently has a tenant in there, and we're actually giving him a little bit more than he's netting right now because he's renting it for below market. We can get $1,500 a month, and he's renting it right now for $1,250. Minus all his vacancies, repairs, maintenance, taxes, and insurance, he's getting less than what we offered him. So he liked that. Plus,
he doesn't have any of the headaches.
That's right. So that sometimes they really like the income, especially retiring landlords. They also can get cash now. So we usually offer them a low down payment to cover the closing costs and give them the maximum income versus here's a bunch of cash you can get at closing with less income, and let them pick which one they want. So they like, one reason they accept our offers is they are getting cash. In fact, one of our, Billy, one of our JV partners, he had a revelation when he sat down with these free and clear sellers, and he made these offers, and the wife said, "Yeah, but we got to do this because you need that money." He was offering, partial down payment, right?
Right.
Large carryback second. And for them, you would think someone with a free and clear house has all the money they want. No, they have equity.
Right.
If they don't have cash, so their motivation was to raise the cash. So that's all right. Now, what every seller wants or would like is a quick sell. Who wants to, take longer than they have to? Everybody wants top dollar. They want the most for their property. Some unrealistically.
Yes.
and we can satisfy them. They want a smooth transaction, and we can offer that. It's pretty systematic when we close these deals. They want to avoid the hassles of selling. Nobody wants that. They want peace of mind. They want closure, just to have it done. And what they really want, they don't want to market the property. And I point this out to the seller. You really don't want to market your property. What you really need is a buyer. That's the purpose of marketing. Find a buyer. Well,
right.
You got a buyer sitting right in front of you. Right? You want a buyer? You got one.
Right.
Do they really do this? Okay. Some will, some won't. So what? SW. It is a numbers game, so you do have to make. I think yesterday we used an example, or actually on the Ultimate Training webinar, I used an example. If you were targeting a $72,000 profit, and let's say you had to talk to 12 sellers to get one deal, okay? That's like you're making $6,000 every time someone says no.
Right. It makes it a little bit more palpable to take a look at it that way. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, if you knew you were going to make $6,000 on average for every seller you make an offer to, how many offers would you make?
Right. Absolutely. Every time somebody tells you no, you're $6,000 closer to where you want to be, you'd be doing that all day long.
You got to think about it that way. It's a numbers game.
Yep.
Okay? So you are going to be one of their options. We talked about their other options. You are another option. And if they're not going to accept our offers, I ask them, well, what are you thinking about doing? Are you going to market it? Are you going to keep it? Are you going to put a tenant in there? Yeah. And then we want to kind of walk them through their other options and point out the pros and cons, and then go back and close again. Well, if you wanted to avoid that, here's what we could do again. Let them decide. Give them some choices and let them pick. If they want the highest price, we can do that. If they want the highest amount of cash down, we can do that. If they want the highest monthly, we can do that. They just can't have it all at the same time. And then follow up. Follow up. Most of the people, like you said, there's no urgency a lot of times. Mm-hmm. And so some of the deals that we're closing, it could be 6 or 12 months later from our follow-up, or if we failed to follow up, they may accidentally call us. Don't leave it to chance. But people do keep the postcard. They do keep your number. But a lot of times they'll forget. So you got to keep reminding them, hey, I'm still interested in selling. Is it still available? How's it going? But they will call you back, and you should be calling them back. You'll double your business. You can double your business just on the follow-up. In fact, we've generated so many leads for our JV partners that when we're talking about their marketing plans, it's like, well, have we really done good follow-up on the leads that you couldn't reach, or that they rejected your offer, or whatever? So a lot of times what we're doing now is just following up on leads we already generated. Why generate more leads if we haven't effectively followed up on some good prospects? Right. So what we want to do with our marketing for generating leads is we want to be talking to sellers and making offers. And so you could do that with your follow-up leads, you can do that with your referrals, and you can do that with your new leads. I just talked to Jim Eisenberg yesterday, and he's getting a lot of referrals. Is it Eisenberg? What's his last name?
Eisenbach, isn't it?
Eisenbach.
Yeah.
Former Major League Baseball player, and he's got a lot of people know him because he's famous, and then they know he's in the real estate business, so they're actually approaching him. Are you still in that real estate business? And so we're actually working on some deals now that are just people he knows. And we were gonna I did work on his marketing plan, and we pulled some lists that we can mail to next. But when the first 1,000 he mailed, he got 40 calls, and then he had life got in the way, and he didn't effectively follow up on all those when that happened. And so that's what we're going to concentrate on, the current activities he's got.
Well, and we're getting reports. I mean, it's across the board. It's about 60% of deals are coming from follow-up. So it's an extremely important part of this business.
It is. And when I got into this business, I was taught to go out, meet with the seller, make an offer, and have them sign a deed.
Right.
We don't do
Which
that
works
anymore.
in some business models. When the house is going up for auction tomorrow, yeah, that works.
Right. I don't think I've ever done that, but that's what I was taught. But yeah, it's like a one-shot close. No, this is normally 2 or 3 shots, and it could be even 5 or 6. And don't be surprised. Don't be surprised. And a lot of times I'm making offers to sellers on the phone with my JV partners, and they're saying, look, I don't want to make a decision right now, and I got to let them know, look, I don't expect you to make a decision now. In fact, we got to start working that into our script and tell them, we're going to give you some numbers, we're going to give you a bunch of information, we'll send everything we're talking about to you in writing, and you can take the time you need to make a decision, and maybe let them off the hook up front. Probably got to start doing that, because I keep getting that. I can't make a decision right now. I don't expect you to. But if they do, like yesterday, it's like, yeah, I'll do it. That's fine too.
Yeah, we'll take those too.
All right, so this is session number 5. And so I recommend people, review the previous sessions that we've done and join us for the future sessions that we do. Right now we're doing them weekly, and we'll just keep knocking out these questions one by one. Call us for support. If you're call your partner. If that's me, call me. If we've working together as joint venture partners for support. Call your coach if you're in our coaching program to get support. Call your program advisor, and Dina, she's one of our program advisors, and she can help you out. If you have any questions, you can give her a call at 1-800-557-3171. You can also email her at dina@richardroop.com, and she's very helpful and can answer your questions. So this is, why wouldn't a free and clear owner just sell traditionally since they have time and no urgency? I think we kind of knocked that one out of the park, haven't we?
I think we have. And the answer is, like everything, it depends. There's tons of different reasons. For every person you meet with, there's a different reason.
Right. And so just know that if they have time and options, and they don't, but they don't like all the other benefits that we're offering, then they're going to go do their thing. Like I said, 9 out of 10, 11 out of 12 will do that.
Right.
So don't be surprised. Just work the numbers. Just keep going. And if you're not closing, 1 out of 15, there's a problem, and
right.
We need to work on that problem, because it's not the system. It's something else, and we can help you with that. And we have been doing that for folks. And it's a challenge sometimes. I'm talking to a coaching client, and we have maybe a catch-up call, and the first thing I hear is a bunch of excuses out of their mouth. Wait.
Right. Right.
All right. What's the real issue here? So we're pretty good at identifying what the real issue is and help them, take care of that, because there's something holding them back. And
they don't always want to hear the answer, but we are pretty good at identifying it.
But again, that's the reason for doing these FAQ webinars, is if any of these questions are holding you back from taking action, hopefully this will give you the confidence to move forward and take action. And there's nothing wrong with having some fear. What you do is you take action with fear. And in fact, taking action, the fear kind of goes away. If you're all concerned about the outcome of something, some project you're going to work on, and it's stressing on you, just get to action, start working on it, and everything will disappear. That's been my experience.
Yep.
But if it's ongoing issues, it's a pattern, and we want to help shift you that pattern. Just this whole idea of thinking about, hey, it's $6,000 every time they say no. That's a good mind frame shift.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay. And then, so I talk to people, well, I haven't done a deal yet. How many offers you made? 4. Okay.
Well, you're a quarter of the way there, or a third.
You can do it on the first 1, 2, 3, or 4, but don't expect it.
Right. Right.
Don't expect it. All right, Courtney. I pretty much covered that question. Any other input that you have that you want to add, or do we have any questions from people on the webinar?
No questions. We've had some great comments, just people saying kudos and thank you and help you and thanks for the help and that kind of thing. But I think you covered it well.
Awesome. Well, that's it for today. Like I said, let us know how we can support you. This is Richard Roop with richardroop.com, and with me is Coach Courtney Jones. And glad you joined us. And again, take advantage of the other sessions that we did. Thank you so much, Courtney.
My pleasure, as always.
All righty. Have a wonderful day. We'll talk to you.
You too. Bye, everyone.